Are you planning a trip to Germany? And you're still asking yourself, so what do we need to know before we travel? Some of our friends, they will come to Germany in the summer and they ask me the same. I shared some hints with them and I will share them with you too. The first one basically is very obvious, but you wouldn't imagine how many people forget about that because different countries have different outlets and different voltages. We have 220, 230 volt compared to in the US, we only have 120. So if you come from the US and you visit Germany, your plug will not fit into the German outlet. So you will need an adapter to use your electronic devices, such as laptop, phone. So please do some research before you come. We also have a different currency here in Germany. We use the euros, as also other countries in the European Union. When you come, bring some cash, or you use the ATM machine and then you use your card and get some cash here. Try to avoid changing money at the airports because it's very expensive. You will need cash in Germany. As I also mentioned in some of the other videos, cash is still king in Germany, and there are shops as bakeries, kiosk, or also parking machine where you cannot pay with a card. The next item will be a shock for many tourists. They visit Germany for the first time. On Sundays, the shops are closed. And this also includes the grocery stores. So make sure that you are prepared and plan ahead, especially when you arrive on a Sunday. This has a Christian background, but also at the workers' rights, because we believe that everyone should have a day off and need to rest and should spend with the family. And this is the reason why on Sundays, the shops are closed. Of course, shops at the airport or train station and also at the gas stations are open on Sundays, but that are the only ones. Restaurants, movie theaters are open. The next topic covers driving because there are differences when it comes to driving. So therefore, be aware before you get in front of the wheel. Good thing, gas is much more expensive here in Germany than what you're used to in the US. I would say it's around 3 times more expensive than overseas. So keep this in mind when driving around Germany. When you get gas, you get your gas first and then you pay afterwards. And you also don't pay at the pump, you pay usually inside. So maybe if you are just in a city or just here for a couple of days, maybe you think about either taking the train or the public transportation because it's very good here in Germany and it's very less stressful compared to renting a car. And especially when it comes to parking, because here to find a parking spot in Germany, especially in big cities, is a nightmare. And then there are also different driving laws. So make sure to check them out before. So 2 very important items. You cannot turn right on red. So keep this in mind. And also watch out for the bikers. I know in the US this is not a thing, but here in Germany, there are many cities where there are a lot of bikers, so please watch out for them that you don't have an accident. This one might be shocking for most of you because in Germany it is legal to drink in public. Maybe you have time and you can try it out, maybe sitting at the river, having a beer or a glass of wine, which is very enjoyable and also much cheaper compared to what you are used to in the US. As a tourist in Germany, you probably will also spend a lot of time in restaurants. So let me share with you some important items about that. So first of all, when you enter the restaurant, you don't have to wait to be seated. So basically you just enter the restaurant and then you can find an open table and just take a seat. And important, you will not get ice in your drink unless you ask for it. And also then it will just be a couple of ice cubes and not what you get in the US, like half the cup with ice. Tap water is not for free in Germany. If you order water, usually get a bottle, either sparkling or still, but you will get charged for that. Also, the size of the drink will be smaller, and also there's no free refill. So those are little differences that you will notice when you go into a restaurant. And when you are done, please don't expect that the waiter will come and bring the check immediately. You probably have to ask for it. And then usually you pay at the table. either cash or by card, and then they have a little machine that they bring, and then you can also pay. So when it comes to tipping, this is also different. So usually here in Germany, we tip 10%, and how it works, you actually tell the waiter what you want to round it up to. If your check is 20 euros and you want to tip 2 euros, you tell the waiter you want to pay 22 euros, and then you will get the change for that. It works the same way also when you pay with card. So please make sure that you tell the waiter before using the card. Just as a heads up, the waiters here might be seemed as cold or unfriendly compared to what you're used to. So you have to flag them down when you want to order something, and they are also not that friendly compared to the waiters in the US. And this is mainly because they are not relying on the tip. But also this has to do with the customer service habit in Germany overall. The customer service experience, if you have to deal with that while you're in Germany, I hope it will not scare you off, because it is much more unfriendly compared to the ones in the US. Maybe a lot of Germans will now disagree with me, but what I have experienced when I lived in the US compared to what I experience now, there's a huge difference. The people in the US, even if they cannot always help you, but they are so friendly and they at least try. So if this happens to you, please don't take it personal. It has nothing to do with you or that you are a tourist. It's just the German way. But of course, there are also a lot of great people working in customer service. They are fun to talk to. So I hope when you have such an experience that you get one of these. One of the items that many tourists complain about is that you have to pay to use the bathroom. If you are driving around and you're at the highway and there's a gas station, you will find a bathroom, but there you have to pay. You usually get a coupon and then you can use it in the shop of the gas station, and then you can buy something, a drink or food. However, first you have to pay. And at some public places, you will find a person that sits in front of the bathroom and has a little plate where you can give some money, but it's not mandatory that you pay for, but usually it's kind of a tip. And of course, in restaurants, it's usually free. And again, please keep in mind that you will need cash. So Germans like rules, and they also like to follow rules. And this includes stopping at a red pedestrian light. So if you stand in front of the traffic light and there's a red sign, you have to stop. And if you walk, even if it's red, there will be people who will just tell you, or they even yell at you. So make sure that you follow the rules. Other rules are to stand on the right side of the escalator. So the left side is basically to walk and the right is to stand. And another important rule, make sure that you don't stand or walk on bike lanes. You also turn on the TV and then you see a movie, but your favorite actors speak German. Yep. So here in Germany, we don't usually use subtitles because Germans doesn't like it. Everything is dubbed. Of course, there are also movies in the movie theater that are in the original language. So there's usually an abbreviation next to the movie OV, and then this is the original version. Probably have heard about the cliche that Germans are very cold and reverse. Usually the Germans come off as unfriendly and cold, at least in the first place, and especially if you compare this to the US. And it's nothing personal. I would say it's more a culture thing. So Germans usually don't talk to strangers a lot and also are not big fans of small talks. So don't expect a nice conversation at the stores. However, if you have a question and you need some help, please approach a German, because usually they are very happy to support and help. So how should I ask someone if I don't know the language? The good thing is that most of the Germans speak English. That were just some things that I think are important to know before you come to Germany. At least that were the ones I gave to my friend, especially the hints on the friendliness. Because I heard about some experience that people, they don't want to come to Germany because people are so unfriendly, because people at the escalator yelled at them just because they didn't follow the rule, because they didn't know better. So if you keep those in mind, then I think you should have a great experience, at least I hope. If you enjoyed this video, it would be great if you give me a thumbs up, or subscribe to my channel for free. And if you activate the bell, you will be notified when I upload more videos. Have a wonderful day and talk soon.